Hello everyone, my name is Bradley. I have a broad taste in music, and today I will be reacting to the Dismemberment Plan by Emergency... I'll be reacting to Emergency Eye by the Dismemberment Plan. Now, I told Tina that this album got sent in, and her response was, ew, Dismemberment Plan? That's such an edgy, disgusting name, and I was like, no, but actually some of their music's good. It's like, I don't know. All right, so we got some doubters, all right, on the, in the family, all right? Can we all say boo to Tina? I'm just kidding. We love Tina. And she's probably right. It's probably garbage for all I know, except for, hold on. Turns out I've given 2 songs on this album a heart, which, I mean, damn, that's a good sign. So, yeah, thank you so much to Noxicer, sends in almost $500, says, Dismemberment Plan's magnum opus, Emergency and I, is their favorite album of all time. Don't know whether or not you'll love it or I'll love it, but it should definitely be an interesting experience. Otherwise, if you already know it, may fall back. It is Transatlanticism, my second favorite. Oh, is that another album from them? I don't know. Either way, people like this shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm getting into, even though I have heard 2 songs, all right? This shit's got an average score of an 85 on Album of the Year. I check every single afternoon, okay? And with that being said, first track, A Life of Possibilities. Okay, well, first thing I'll mention is I've never heard an album just... Wow, that's a no bullshit start right there. Oh my God. Okay, good start. All right, pause. Oh my God, this is like a combination of funk. What is it? Shit, I don't know. Funk is the only thing I can recognize and not feel like I'm going to be called out for being cringe for getting something wrong. I think the singing is really unique. The sound of this is, and man, I'm going to mention again. Damn, this shit just immediately pops in. Anyways, all right. Tapped with hammers, you hear it, you know it, ignore it, you're on your way. Good.
Chocolate starfish! But if they do care, oh, they're not letting it show.
Dude, that riff is crazy. Just gonna let you guys know we are going to have a guest feature from Dynamic Editor some way around here. Probably, yeah, after track 6. Dynamic Editor is going to come in. We're going to have a short little discussion. So, yeah, just want to let you guys know.
There's a feeling coming back, connected by one thread. It's pulling at your hands like a spider web, like a kite that isn't there.
I love Green Day. I'm going to pause here. No, I don't want to pull up the lyrics. The fact that the lyrics aren't here is unfortunate, but I also think it's going to give me more of an opportunity to focus on the sound, as I believe that if I start really trying to hone in on the lyrics for this, then I might just completely miss out on the details that I'm, as of right now, more interested in, which is the sound of these tracks. Personally, I thought this first track sounded great. It's a smiley ball for me. I didn't fully feel everything like connected by the very end, but I think that it did a pretty damn good job at it. The elements of funk, the synths, all synergizing together with the... What the fuck? Who's calling me? Anyways, good start. Good start. I really like how this shit just starts immediately. It doesn't waste any time, and it's an interesting intro. So, next song, Memory Machine, which apparently I've heard.
Red wire, red to black wire, left to red wire, red to black wire, left to red wire, red to black wire, left to red wire, red to black wire, left to
shit.
Make machines save us labor. Someday they'll do our hearts the very same thing.
Tyler Joseph, if you made good sounding music, are you implying that Regional at best is not a good album? Okay. I'm going to say that with paying attention to the sound, having things buried in the way they are for a song called Memory Machine, I think actually is very effective at portraying the importance of a memory machine, as it feels like everything's kind of fading a little bit. I like the sound of this one. I like the tempo change. It's completely different from the previous track. I also like that this is a song that feels more brief, but it's exploring a lot of ideas. Yeah, I think it's stellar. Smiley Ball. Favorite one so far. I like that it's kind of... I mean, the first song was great. It didn't need to really be shortened, but this song being so brief, I feel like just sort of throws a lot at you and allows you to process it slowly. Or not slowly, but like, it's sort of like a lot of information and then... Yeah, I imagine that the red wire, right tempo red wire is like connecting to a memory machine in a way. Yeah, overall I thought it was a fantastic track. All right, next song, What Do You Want Me to Say? Which is another one that I've given a heart to.
I lost my membership card to the human race, so don't forget the face, 'cause I know that I do belong here. Go down the checklist, let's see if feelings are good. Dishonesty is bad, and keeping inside is worse still. You want a problem? Well, I guess we got one now. I really don't know how. Decisions over every goddamn hill. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? To let you know that I do mean it. What do you want me to say? What do you want
This part feels so 90s, but it actually feels like it's aged well.
me to do? To let you know that I do mean it. What do you want me to say? Yeah, yeah. I see it coming from a million miles away. What else can I say? The only way you know that I love you. And there's no eye to eye, just Moses on the mount, around and for the count. You need your man above or below you. I cannot cry at will, but I do wish I could, 'cause it do you some good. When every joke I make is treason. There was a time when you could make me laugh at will, and you can do it still, but never is it for the right reasons. Yeah. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? To let you know that I do mean it. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? To let you know that I do mean it. What do you want me to say? What do you want to hear? To let you know that I...
This is about a dysfunctional relationship collapsing under a lack of trust and poor communication, or both. I actually do appreciate these very brief summaries of these tracks. So yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense with this chorus, which, by the way, I think is extremely catchy and probably my favorite part of the song. I'd say my least favorite part is the brr, 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 but I understand that's supposed to be like almost like an alarm going off that something's up. I'm calling dynamic. Not detecting a mic. God damn it.
I know you call so soon. Can you hear me?
Yo, yeah, sorry. I was saying that like, okay. So this album so far, I am just like I'm enjoying it. I think it sounds unique, but I'm not loving it. I like it, but I just don't really get the full picture, and I'm hoping that you can explain some things and some shit can click so that I can continue and fully understand what's happening.
Yeah, so I don't fully believe this is the weakest part of the album. The weakest part is sort of near the middle and the final track. The beginning songs, let me just pull these up. Um, I just gotta look at it, look at the track list myself, just so I can. So the first track, what is that called again? Yeah, Life of Possibilities. I actually have a story involved with that. I have a friend, I mentioned this on stream once, he has AVPD, avoidant personality disorder. So I showed him that track about like distancing yourself from society and sort of holding yourself up, and he wondered if it was like about him. You know
See,
what I
that's the
mean?
thing is I believe that I have the same thing, AVP, whatever, like
Yeah,
avoidant personality disorder.
AVPD, yeah.
Yeah, like I've pretty much suspected for the longest time I've had it.
It's
Now,
worth getting a diagnosis.
this is probably not the time to talk about it.
Oh, apologies.
But that being said, I, I'm going to try pulling up the lyrics for the rest of this shit because I feel like going without it isn't really giving me the full experience. So I think
Yeah. So for the second track, Memory Machine, that actually has hit me really hard. I've cried to it a few times, and it may be poisoning the well. Jordan Peterson may be poisoning the well and crying to like social issues and stuff like that. But I find that really resonates with me because the idea is that if we don't feel pain, then what is life for? He talks about
right.
Someday I'm telling you we'll build a memory. They'll build a memory machine which will wax our hearts to a blinding sheen to wash away grief. So basically,
Oh.
uh,
Oh, okay.
and the red wire, blue. I think it's red wire, blue wire, or something like that.
Yeah.
It's talking about being strapped to that machine. So you're correct in that.
Okay, but I kind of misunderstood. So the memory machine's about like taking away memories to wash away grief.
Yeah, it's so all you feel is good stuff. Chat, remind me, there was some book in I don't know junior high or something that class made you read about. It was something about like a pill that you take that makes you happy, and then you just have sex all the time. If I remember, I didn't actually read the book. This is kind of the summary that I heard. Brave New World, yeah. So it's sort of like Brave New World in that sense, if you've ever heard of that book.
I'm reading through the lyrics of the first song, and yeah, this okay. All right, yeah, it's starting to make more sense to me now.
And yeah, so Brave New World definitely very parallels to that book in the Memory Machine. And I guess that's something I really resonate with because the idea of I mean, a lot of us are defined in part by our pain and what we do with it. So the idea of not having pain anymore, are we still human? Are we still people?
Yeah.
Or is there worth and happiness if it is not contrasted with sadness?
Okay. All right. I think that's gonna help me moving forward.
Yeah. One last thing for the what do you want me to say? I really consider that a song. So when you're trying to communicate something to someone and they just don't understand or don't get along with the way that you feel, you basically just want to scream at them how you're feeling. And that's the song equivalent of that. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do to let you know that I do mean it?
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like the frustration of being unable to communicate. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
back to the album now, but I really
Yeah.
appreciate this.
Have a great one.
Damn, that shit actually helped. Not gonna lie. All right, I think this is going to help moving forward. Just I feel like that extra context makes me understand that this is a lot more cerebral than I think I was giving it credit for. Life possibilities, talking about avoiding things, memory machine, talking about erasing things. What do you want me to say? Being able not to communicate things. Let's see what Spider in the Snow has to offer.
Bad memories is no memories at all. From the age of 20 to 22, I had 5 friends, none of whose names I can recall. And as I would walk down K Street to some temping job, as winter froze life out of fall. Yeah, I must have been having a ball, yeah. Different scene outside your window now. Same VCR, the same cats. Different people at the very same job. Similar alley, different rats. The trash goes out on a Tuesday now. You gotta make a note about that. Yeah, well, this time you're where it's at, yeah. But I know that it's in there. You don't know, but I know that you're...
Wait, the song's in 7/4. Doesn't that mean it technically qualifies to be this following the spaghetti code?
The very same pit still yawns deep down within the very same guts. The very same ghost still seem to haunt you down those lines.
Okay, I get why I'm not super loving this album now. Yeah. Wow. And it's a really fascinating thing. It comes down to the same reason why I don't listen to music that's depressing when I'm depressed. It's the same thing that when I have a doomer attitude, I don't want to listen to music that's for people who have a doomer attitude. That's what this feels like. It feels hopeless. It feels sad. It feels like there's no point, which is not the kind of thing I want to be reminded of when I'm listening to music. Huh.
Tried to cut. You thought you just might need a little change, but now you find you got nothing but. How can a body move the speed of light, still find itself in such a rut? You can't say it, but I know that it's in there. You don't know it, but I know that you're...
Is that all I listen to? No, that's not all I listen to. Let's look at my most recent listen to. Okay, recently played. Ed Sheeran. A lot of this shit was typed in for like listening to one song but all right, Tool. All right, this one's just angry and bitter. I like that. Illmatic, Nas. I can't relate to shit from here. Fucking 100 Gex. City Morgue. All right. Nickelback. Also, no, that's whatever. But just Mata, JPEG Mafia. Damn, how many of these have I actually... Oh, yeah. I listened to Rihanna Anti. I listened to the Quavo album. You know, like, none of these inflict that same feeling of helplessness. Not even close. Brad, you call it depressing, but there's so much power in understanding you're deep in a hole. You can't begin to solve the problems until you Yeah, but I don't want music to be the thing that does that. That's the thing, is it's just how I'm wired. It's just how things have been solved throughout my life. Is music is not my form of therapy. No, music is a fascinating art form to me, but as soon as it starts to cross that line, then it starts to feel intrusive. I haven't hated any of these tracks. They're all well done. It just feels like I'm having, like, I feel like I'm being defined by my issues by this being, you know, like, assume that I'm going to love this because of things that relate to me, you know? And I don't really like that, because it's like it's trying to solve me. At least not the album itself, but the assumption that I'm going to love this actually kind of frustrates me, because it doesn't really seem to stem from the music itself, but the subject matter relating to shit that I've gone through. As much as I know that it's coming from a good place, it still makes me feel a bit too vulnerable. For me, though, that being said, I actually like the song. All seriousness aside, I actually think this song is very cold and sad and bitter and sorrowful, and outside of everything that I've complained about that has nothing to do with the music, I actually think the music's pretty good. So, yeah. No, I know a lot of people thought I would just like because of the sound. I like sad music that's like Santa Monica. Sorry if I was being presumptuous. This album definitely No, that's the thing, though, is you're fine. You didn't do anything wrong, because you don't know this. Nobody knows this unless I say it. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to express how I feel and allow you guys to interpret that as you will. Because I'm not trying to, like, say, oh, you did anything wrong to anybody here. But I do want to give information about me and how I feel. And if you guys learned something from that, and if I learned something from that, then that's, in my opinion, all that matters at the end of the day. So, no offense to anybody, but I like being able to express and learn about myself through this experience of listening to this album and being able to say this music is sad, it's like depressing, but the expectation of me having some sort of deeper connection with this immediately on a first reaction like this is a lot. And it's intimidating, and if anything, I feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of, you know, the disassociation talked about on the first song. So it almost causes me to immediately turtle up. Does that make sense? Stay hydrated. I need to get some water. I'll be right back. This shit kind of complicated. Let's play a song here.
Furries at the Home Depot. You already know. I just went to Home Depot. I saw a furry. They claimed it was a Halloween decoration of a werewolf, but I know it was a furry in disguise. I be eating burgers and fries. Just got the Travis Scott meal. Cactus Jack just smacked my He smacked my apple juice box out of my hand. I be at Disneyland.
Go to Home Depot, furry on my lawnmower. Kill him in the face, now he's 60 low. I'm with the Flex Gang, we gonna shoot your brain, then we steal your chain. Every day, I'm Little Pinecone, ruler of the forest. I'll shoot you till you moan, in my forest throne.
Anyways, to reiterate before we move on, the point of me bringing up all this is not to insult anyone or do anything. It's just, this is a first reaction, and I'm telling you exactly how I feel, whether or not it's ugly or not. So yeah, that's just kind of part of it. Next song, The Jitters. Thanks, Grave, for being here. What does it cost to have a whole album rated by me? Well, look, that's the thing is I see some people complaining about the price. Trust me, the price is not fair. There's nothing fair about $9 a minute. It is fucking criminal. It is actual highway robbery. And the only reason it's at the price that it is right now is because of this. People sending in $500 for an album. No, and I'm not just blaming the one people. No, I'm saying that's one thing, right? So that, if people really want an album, because it takes up a lot of time, it takes up a lot of space, then boom, it's a crazy high price. Because that's the price to do that. But it allows people to send in lots of separate music, and there's a 3-hour queue. So, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyways, it makes sense, okay? Economics 101.
What they say, and you can tell as clear as deep sea fish. All eternal organs and glowing eyes. I've been good, I've been busy. I've realized my friends' true intentions cut all ties. Been doing 10,000 push-ups a day.
You know what's amazing about talking about my deep inner insecurities on stream? Is this album's actually starting to click. See what I'm saying? It's the benefit of it. It's uncomfortable, but I'm actually starting to see the bigger picture, and I'm starting to fall into the jury feeling of this project.
Plastic cube filled with pus that sits atop my supervisor's desk. The feeling of ice on the inside of the wrist. Always tired, need a nap.
$500 is more than half your paycheck? I know, it's terrible.
Made a list of everything I've ever promised. When the days bring nothing new, and the sound of laughter makes you sick and snide, you know you've got the jitters.
You know you've got the drip, got the swag.
Nothing's wrong, I'm just fine. I realized I
People
just
trash
don't
this
like
song?
jokes. I'm thinking of moving, I can't call anyone back. You can tell every time they lean away when you just wanna talk. By their interest now. Stolen cars in a heap, a naked body on the neighbor's yard. When they let
Prison
you
where I'm
down
living.
on cue. When you give up way before you even try, you know you got
Returns, I fucking dare you to show up on stream, please.
They glow as near, then disappear like highway signs on a starless night. And it's so hard to say who's being fed and who's in the fight.
He sounds like Dream. I bet Returns is Dream on an alt account. Wow, that was the slowest, coldest song of all time. Yet at the same time, for its 4 minute and 20-second length, it actually seemed like it made a lot of sense. It was dark, it was dreary, and I think it matches the album and fits the tone. It's a smiley ball. I actually liked it. I get it. I understand it. It's more that emotional disconnect that's going on throughout this entire album. Talking about isolating friends because you're unsure what their intentions are. Which, you know, now that I'm thinking about it, you know, you're kind of right. This album does relate a lot of things that I felt and thought. You know, at the end of the day, it does suck to be defined by specific characteristics and to be recommended an album based off of those. But I gotta say, it is kind of, once you do understand it and you start to perceive it correctly, and then I'm like, you know what? I kind of understand why, because you know this shit does make a lot of sense. Next song, I love a magician. I don't like this. Dynamic, are you down for another call after this? I actually like this one a lot. Yeah, I've heard a couple of Quadeca songs. I Love a Magician is one of the strangest songs on this album, as it feels like it almost has nothing to do with the rest of the track listing, but at the same time, it feels like it has everything to do with it. It feels anxiety written, like it's constantly on edge, and you can feel that, and you can hear that in how everything's buried. It's disturbing in a way. I really liked it. It's a smiley ball. All right, I'm going to call Dynamic. Oh shit, you're loud, homie. Hello? Well, they're gone. They gotta plug in their mic. What have you walked into? We're listening to the Dismemberment plan with the album... Fuck, I don't remember. What was this album called again? Emergency and I. That's what it was.
Sorry,
What's up?
I used the wrong mic.
Yeah, you're good. All right, so I'm going to start by saying this album's growing on me. I feel like I'm starting to understand it, and I'm starting to understand why this was recommended to me. It feels very, I'll just say emotionally overwhelming once you finally are able to connect to it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah,
Definitely.
it's hard for me with indie music in general because I feel like I boil a lot of this shit down to stereotypes.
Can you what stereotypes do you mean?
I mean, with indie, it just seems like such a man. Like there was a long period where I just didn't care for like any indie music because it all just felt very samey, like Strokes and all that shit. Just like everyone was trying to be the Strokes or whatever. But like even older shit, I feel like listening to it, I sort of hear what indie became and how boring and cut and dry a lot of artists from the genre were. So it does feel like it takes me a while to get into albums like this, just looking past that in general. So
yeah, I think this
Yeah.
album also has a sort of tinge of post-hardcore that sort of adds to the heaviness of some songs like um I Love a Magician, stuff like that.
yeah.
Personally, I never really liked I Love a Magician that much. I guess I never really had that sort of experience of feeling like, oh, I'm being overwhelmed by somebody, they're taking over me, that I feel the song's going for. So it's really hard for me to assess it. I mean, I think I should be able to assess it like neutrally outside of that, but I don't know, it just never quite hit me as hard as other stuff. Even Gyroscope, which happens a little bit later in the track listing, I feel executes this idea much better in terms of being tethered to somebody.
Okay.
As for Spider in the Snow and the Jitters, I never really quite felt as depressive, but I always thought to myself like, oh, if I was depressive, then things would get like, if my mind did go those places, things would get really dark.
It's interesting
Because-
what songs like really resonate and hit you, and then what songs like immediately like I feel like I understand and don't really need
Yeah.
a second take with.
And with the Spider in the Snow, I really like that one. Because a lot of times in your life you feel like you're just kind of coasting, and it's good to sort of look at things and be like, okay, where am I going? What's happening? Are things going well? I mentioned this in chat, but I thought it just came to my mind as we were listening to it on stream. Like, what if a Spider in the Snow is him speaking to his past self?
Yeah.
And him saying like, you don't how's the chorus go? You can't say it, but I notice in there. You don't know it, but I know that you're scared. Obviously, only a spider in the snow. I do, just the idea of knowing that you're deep in a hole, then you could start to take steps to get out of it.
Yeah.
And
That actually does make a lot of sense.
that really ought to be discussed more in music, because people, it's more of a matter of fact, like, oh, I feel this way or I feel that way, but being able to understand how you feel first off is really important.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've much more to add unless you have any questions.
No, I think that's good. I think we should just continue.
Yeah, okay. Bye.
Bye. All right, next song is You Are Invited. Okay.
I got it in the mail one morning. There was no return address, just my name in gold leaf on the front. There was no time or location, there was really no info at all. No date, no place, no time, no RSVP. But it said you are invited by anyone to do anything. You are invited for all time. I didn't think much about it. It seemed like a really dumb joke.
Hey.
Later that week, it was Friday once again. So I took it down to a disco that wouldn't have me in a million years. I flashed it once and I was inside with a drink. I really didn't stay too long there, 'cause no one was having much fun. I made my way to a party all the way across town. It was thrown by the friend of the next thing. I wasn't sure if I should go, but when I got up in the place, there were smiles all up and down. I grabbed my ex in the kitchen. I told her I was sorry I came, but she looked at me with a glazed smile and said, "You are invited by anyone to do anything. You are invited for all time. You are so needed by everyone to do everything. You are invited for all time." I headed for home kinda early. The party wasn't all that great. I saw my neighbor out crying on his front porch. I stopped to see what his deal was. I didn't catch much through the sobs. Something about a party and he didn't go. I thought about it for a second, with the invite in my hands. I threw it down at his feet and I said, "You are invited by anyone to do anything. You are invited for all time. You are so needed. If you really want to go, you are invited for all time."
Song's what we like to call hippy dippy bullshit. All right, but not really. It's not that out of the norm, but it's out of the norm enough for me to say. Song's 5 minutes, and I feel like it drags. I don't find the chorus to be all that interesting. Shrug. Hey! It just doesn't click with me nearly as much as these other ones. I know you are invited. He wants everyone and everything to be happy, and it's like, okay, I get it, you know? I just don't really care for the song. Next song, Gyroscope. That was a cool rhythm.
She's wearing too much lipstick tonight. Little black dress a little too tight. Tries to make small talk, but it drips with spite. She knows how it's coming, it's really alright. Nobody here could know how she feels. Not getting drunk and she hates wearing heels. Tries to stand, but the room seems to bend and reel. Her friends all keep asking, why can't she just steal? If she's just fast enough, then maybe the broken pieces of her heart will stay together. But in a gyroscope can't spin forever.
Where I've heard this. Is it 15-8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
He says it's over, it's such a release. Finally happened and he's making his peace. guitar and his hands kind of shake, like his voice is ready to break. Kinda wonder how long this boy's been awake, or just how much less sense one person can make.
Can you tell time signature? Well, I don't know. Good question. I just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, not 8, but it's sometimes it's 8. I took the walk.
Pieces of your heart will stay together, but something I see lately makes me doubt it.
Cool. I like the transition from that track. I like how it ends. It feels almost like it's structured like a singer-songwriter song with a lot of spunk to it. Giving it a smiley ball. Next song, The City.
Of graffiti they couldn't quite erase the blank face stares on the subway as people go home. The parks lay empty like my unmade bed. The streets are silent like my lifeless telephone. And this is where I live, but I've never felt less at home. So I'm not unsympathetic. I see why you left. No one to know, there's nothing to do. The city's been dead since you've been gone.
Yo, Kelly Clarkson reference?
On the roof at night and watch as something seems to happen somewhere else. I feel like the breeze can pick me up and carry me away. Out and over the iridescent grid, well, up and away from the bar fights and neon lights, and out and away from everything that makes me what I am. So I'm not unsympathetic. I see why you left. There's no one to know. There's nothing to do. The city's been dead since you've been gone. For all I never had, just whatever it is, yeah.
Oh, thank you. Walking pizza. You know, I actually think this is one of the most satisfying of the album, though I think that I still am not, like, head over heels for it. It's a smiley bowl for me. I like the track, but there's something about the way this just goes through the motions that bores me. Even if it does have some moments I enjoy, I'd give it a light smiley bowl. This is one of those albums that I will be revisiting, and I'm not sure if I'm ever going to post my first reaction for this. But I am fascinated enough by this thing to return to it and try to, like, pull it apart more. Get it? The Dismemberment play. Okay, Girl O'Clock. Not dynamic. I'm good with the calls for now. What the fuck? So groovy and funky, yet I don't give a shit.
These urges can be so very, very misread. Come on, baby, now wasn't something I said.
I'm not in the mood for a stream today. Look, with albums like these, you have to give it 100% at all times. And I feel like, so even when I'm like nodding and I look like I'm falling asleep, that's a moment where like I'm closing my eyes and giving it an even more detailed listen. It's one of those things that I feel like because I'm not fully getting it immediately, that I'm literally listening to every single detail to try to pull it together and get a full picture of it. This is just one of those albums where there isn't a lot to say while the music's playing, and I hope that you're okay with that, Noxicer. There's just a lot going on in my head at like any given point listening to this.
When it's there inside your day or night, you know it's gonna apart. Well, I don't know, but I've been told it so. You know it's good as dog. You know it's TikTok, you don't stop.
Just compare this to Mindless Self-Indulgence, which I still refuse to listen to, but still. Girl O'Clock is supposed to be completely overwhelmed and disoriented by the thought of a woman to the point of not even having control over yourself, which is amplified by the performances by everyone here, including the vocalist. I just don't really care for the song. It's a shrug. Hey, what's up, Ben? It's a bit too odd. Just wasn't as in love with that one. Yeah. Okay. 8.5 minutes.
Oh, launched all the world's nukes this morning. Hoping it would kickstart something. Something went off course and hit the moon instead. It was kind of pretty.
What does the synth resemble?
Well, there hasn't been a whole lot of looting. On the other hand, oh, it's fucking freezing. Someone on TV said something about going underground. I guess we better start digging. What were you doing for those 8.5 minutes? What does it mean? Was it petty? Or did you realize you were sorry and that you loved?
Metal detector type beat?
What were you doing for those 8.5 minutes? What does it mean? Was it cruel? Or did you realize you were sorry that you love them? Well, I saw this runner break down on CNN. He said I'm a scientist.
Oh, it's like, this is actually an alarm for the world ending. Yeah.
It's not even fucking crazy, man. And no one's going nowhere 'cause the cars are all frozen. They give the power plant 10 days. The sky is like a dome of black metal flake, and stars bleed together in phosphorescent lakes.
I like it.
And a dead black disc.
It's kind of the same fucked shit that was happening on that one Jack White album, with that one song that I kind of liked. It's odd, but yet it all kind of adds to the feeling and disorientation.
Fly silently overhead. It's fucking beautiful is what it is. What were you doing for those 8?
Yeah, but here's the thing. How would you even know that the sun exploded if light takes 8.5 minutes to get to you? Like, it's not like you're going to see that shit happening before it like, you know what I mean? Like, you're already kind of fucked. Am I wrong?
8.5 minutes, what does it mean? Was it petty? Or did you realize you were sorry that you love them? What were you doing for those 8.5 minutes? What does it mean? Was it selfish? Or did you realize you were sorry that you love
Yeah, the AI voice. I keep using it on TikToks just because it's like, it's trendy. Like, I understand it's annoying, but it's also something that I know people put up with. So, I just do it anyways. Everyone loves the TikTok voice.
What were you doing for those 8.5 minutes? What does it mean? Was it selfish? Or did you realize you were sorry and that you love them? When I die, I'm going to heaven. Leave it all to the cockroaches and the 7-Elevens. It'd be nice to think we could get it right down here just once.
Okay. Sure. Wasn't super in love with that song. I didn't love the sound of it. It had some cool ideas going on, and I liked the whole end of the world thing happening. It's just not clicking with me though. It's a bit goofy for this whole project. Maybe I'm just not fully seeing it. Can you play songs off YouTube? Yeah, that's usually what happens. Final song, Back and Forth. It would be better if Kings of Leon were making this. what's up? Take so pause.
It was a kind of music that reminds me of you. It's all clear, expensive drinks and shiny shirts and the quick of wheels. As they descend from the taxi like the first look on the moon. Oh, and it grows with it. If it hits me right all, it's almost too much to take. And it's got right angle laser, razor thin lines, a curve, a swerve, and crooked signs, and regrets and the nines, and attempt to leave it all behind. A search of the moment between the seconds when we finish just fine. And it's silver thread embedded deep within our spines. I used to be kind of weird about this fear of dependence on the guilty.
You're watching the Harry Potter behind the scenes from 2009 and someone asked who your favorite band is and everyone said Kings of Leon. What the fuck? What? Daniel Radcliffe said Pixies.
It's never just another Saturday night, not with you in attendance. So put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. It's on a whim, it's on a dare. Just shrug away when we can't bear. We're going back and forth.
Sound feels very complete.
And back and forth and back. We're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back.
Okay, shout out Clap Baddies. Becca, I know you're very eager to have your request played, but please, we have a lot of people stop by these streams and they all want requests.
Semi-solid self-wood ocean. It's a funny notion, isn't it? Yeah, but I'm kind of digging it. And it's weird that it isn't nearly so big, and it speaks only of its own perpetual near miss. Like the uncertain memory, the stranger's mistake, and the kiss. As faces slide by in glowing shadows like snowbound ghosts that go up and down in epileptic shivers and negative radioactive slivers in a landscape of endless gold glitter, and it tastes on my mouth so
Becca,
sweet.
you ain't gotta apologize. You're good.
We exhaust ourselves trying to get there.
You're just eager.
Somebody scream, alright. We'll try to fill the endless night. No, that's enough, and hold tight. We can't give up without a fight. And we're going back.
Song's dull. You're right. This is a lame ending. I don't like it. It feels like end credits. It actually feels like an appropriate ending, but I just don't care about this song at all. I think the mix sounds like dog water.
And back and forth and back and forth and back. We're going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back.
I feel like this should have been an EP. I disagree. I actually think this is a very tight track listing.
Equations unbalanced, riddles unsolved. We were
Not dynamic. We can talk about it after the stream. I want to give it another listen.
And no space, and no schedule, and no place. And they pass right through us without a trace. And sometimes I need to drift in my
What's up,
car on
Jay?
a spring night when anything is possible. And I close my eyes, and I nod my head, and I wonder how you've been. And I count to 110. You'll always be my hero, even if I never see you again.
People, no, this shit has nothing to do with fucking Captain Beefheart. Now, I actually like this ending. I know, I complained. I said it was the worst song by far. It's a smiley ball. I think it ends very strong. The mix sucks, but it's actually... I think the positives outweigh the negatives. I think this actually is an extremely appropriate closer here. I think it makes a lot of sense to end off the album. I think this is an extremely tight track listing. Even the shit I have a problem with is extremely unique to this album. I think that this album explores a lot of sounds, and it does it with a lot of gusto. I'm personally not super in love with every moment here, but I get it. I get why this is as praised and looked up at as it is, though at the same time, I just didn't get the level of enjoyment as I wanted to on a first listen, which is disappointing. I guess you can call these guys the Disappointment Plan. No, I actually enjoyed this project. It was actually a lot more unique and had a lot more flair than I expected. If I was to score it right now, I'd probably give it a 7 to a 7 minus, as I felt overall very satisfied with it, and I think the structuring's very unique, and I think the ideas, the cerebral nature of this is also very unique and powerful. But I also had many moments where I was just sort of cruising along, and it felt like I had picked up the pieces afterwards for a bit, so you gave me a chance to do so. So I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.